Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Commonwealth Stadium. My name is Evan Dom, Vice President of Marketing and Fan Engagement for the Edmonton Elks. We thank you for joining us here today as we unveil the 25th head coach in franchise history, Mark Kilam. In just a couple of moments, our Vice President of Football Operations and General Manager, Ed Hervey, will come up and provide some remarks. Then Ed will introduce Mark, and we'll take questions from the media after that. We'll do the photo op last this time, so we'll get prepared for that to conclude the press conference here. Just a reminder that when we get to the questions, if you could state your name and your outlet, that would be appreciated. The other two guys here knew most of you, but some of you are new to Mark, so we would appreciate if you do that. With that, Vice President of Football Operations and GM, Ed Hervey.
Thank you, Evan. First of all, I want to say that throughout this process, there was many boxes that needed to be checked in order for this opportunity to be presented. Now, again, there's a lot of experience that's out there, and there are many coaches that expressed a lot of interest. But after you meet Mark and you have an opportunity to really feel his energy and his excitement for coaching, that was one big part of it. But then the most surprising thing, I don't even know if it's surprising, but the thing that stood out the most was the overwhelming amount of support from the players that he's coached and the lives that he's touched out there. And when I went through the interview process and I called players and talked, there was not one candidate that the players were more excited about than Mark. And when I look at our situation here, there's many coaches we could have selected to come in and coach with experience and all these other things. But for what we need to accomplish in Edmonton right now and moving forward and getting people excited and being able to touch lives and be able to really create that environment where the players feel that someone cares about them, there was no question who was going to get this opportunity. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our head coach, Mark Kilam.
Good morning. I first want to start off and I want to thank Larry and Deb Thompson and the entire Thompson family. It's a privilege and an honor to be the head coach of the Edmonton Elks, and I want to thank them for that opportunity. I want to thank Rick Lawlisher, Chris Morris, and Ed Hervey. Thank you for believing in me. I want to thank my beautiful wife and my daughters, my talented and amazing daughters, Jules and Hennessy, my wife, Andrea. Thank you for being on the roller coaster with me and joining this journey. I love you guys so much. Thank you. I want to thank my parents, Jan and Surrender, for teaching me what hard work really looks like. I want to thank my mom for being my number one fan. I know it's tearing her up that she can't be here, but she's at my niece's 7th birthday. It was a planned trip, but happy birthday, Mela, by the way. So I just wanted to make sure I recognize them. I wanted to thank my in-laws, Eric and Judy, for the constant support that they've contributed to our family over the years. Side note, Judy's family were season ticket holders in this organization for over 30 years, so I know that she's just thrilled for Andrew and I in this opportunity, and I just wanted to recognize that. I want to thank the other two sides of the triangle, Nathan and Jay. Those guys are my brothers for life, and they know what that's all about. And then lastly, I want to thank all the current and former players for their wave of support. It was really, whoa, where did that come from? It was really, it's hard to put into words what that support meant to me, and it really just meant everything. And it meant that those relationships that we created were real, and I just want you to know that I got nothing but love and respect for you guys. I can't wait to slap hands when I see you. All right. Got through that hard part. All right. What an opportunity. Okay, what an opportunity. You know, when I was going through this process with Chris and Ed, you could just really feel the synergy between us. And that's exciting. You know, when you hear Chris and you hear Ed talk about this organization, you can feel the passion that they have. You know, you throw in a little Mark Kilam energy into that, and it's an explosive mix. And that's exciting. Okay, that's exciting to be a part of. You know, sometimes it feels like it doesn't happen very often, but when the universe can align, beautiful things can happen. And that's what this opportunity feels like for me, and I'm just so excited to be a part of this. To the players, here's what I know. This team's going to take on an identity that the people of this city can resonate with. This is a city that is not afraid to work hard. This is a city that has grit and a city that has a chip on its shoulder to succeed, and that's what we're going to be about. We're going to be a team that's built tough, that's built for the cold. We're going to be a team that doesn't back down and doesn't turn it down. Okay, we're going to commit to playing a style of winning football, and that's going to look like whatever it takes each and every week. We're going to commit to playing a certain type of football that the people in this city can believe in, and that's important. We're going to be a group that's accountable, not only to each other, but to everybody that came here before us. We're going to stand on the shoulders of the people that built this place and represent the Double E the right way. And if that sounds like a group that you want to be a part of, come on down to Edmonton, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, this is an exciting place to be. And we're going to want to be a part of this, and we're going to get after it up here, and I can't wait. Okay, I can't wait to start reaching out and connecting with you, and that process starts this week. But I'm excited for it, and I want you to be excited for the opportunity that we have here. To the fans, I know you are starving for this program to succeed. Something was taken from you, and I can promise you we are going to work our ass off to bring that feeling back. We are going to rep this city, and we're going to rep these colors with pride. And I'm asking you to give us a chance so that we can prove that to you. Because that's who we are and what we're going to be about. The first CFL game I ever saw was in Commonwealth Stadium. I was about 6 years old with my buddy and his dad. The very first time I played football was in junior high. My team in Lethbridge was the Gilbert Patterson Eskimos, and we wore green and gold. My high school team was the LCI Rams, and we wore green and gold. My university team was the Golden Bears, and we wore green and gold. And I can't wait to put these colors back on. I'm humbled, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I can't wait to get going, baby. Thank you. Just open it up for questions.
Mark J. Milne, Edmonton Sports Talk. Given your connection to Edmonton, the Golden Bears, like you just said, this feels more like a homecoming than anything. Was Edmonton an organization that you had circled as top of the list in terms of a landing spot for you as a head coach?
100%. I mean, you know, I had interviewed here before. I was involved in another hiring process here before that unfortunately I didn't get. These jobs are hard to get. When it came out, you know, it was something, obviously with my connections and my family's connections. My wife is from St. Albert. You talked about the U of A connections. It was something that was important to me. And then when I really found out about how much I wanted to be here was when we started the process. Like I said, the synergy when we get in the room and we're talking about ideas and how we see and how we feel an organization should look and act like on a day-to-day basis, we were aligned, and that was really appealing and really exciting for me.
Since the buzz started with this hire, several players came out on social media and gave you rave reviews. Can you speak to what that meant to you, as well as why you are commonly referred to as a player's coach?
You want me to start crying again, or what? No, you know what? I mean, it was actually an unbelievable thing. I mean, it was an organic process, and you know, it was incredible. I don't have social media. I have a LinkedIn account that I'm never on, but you know, my mom would screenshot things to me, and my wife would show me things, and it was just, you know, it really reinforced that I did things the right way growing up and working with these guys, and that's what I really took from it. You know, those relationships, like I said, were real. Those connections were real, and to me, I value people. I value what they can bring in whatever position group or whatever area that we're involved with in this organization, and I think that that's important, and I think that's what really shone through there.
Mark Slav from Global Edmonton. You've had a chance to be an assistant coach with the Stampeders since 2019. Can you just kind of talk about how that role maybe has helped prepare you for this opportunity here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all a sum of our experiences, right? So, I mean, all my roles there helped prepare me for this opportunity. I've got 20 years in a great organization, and that's a lot of experiences of different things, highs, lows, a lot of different experiences with players. You know, I think, and I'm going to represent for all the special teams guys out there. Special teams guys are prepared for these jobs. We're the only ones that talk to the whole team other than the head coach. Good special teams coordinators have a presence in the room. You have to if you want to get your guys to play. Your game managers, you're constantly thinking ahead. What's the next situation? What are we anticipating here? And I think that all of those experiences have helped prepare me. And, you know, I really can't wait to hit the ground running.
You had a chance to see the Elks 3 times this past season. What do you think of the roster, the one that they had this past season? And, I mean, how close do you think that roster would be to a playoff spot and competing for a Grey Cup?
I think that's part of one of the most exciting parts about this team. I think there's a lot of good pieces here, a lot of good pieces. I'm excited to work with them. You know, this is the next part of the process where I'll get with Ed and we'll start really getting into that stuff. But it's from the outside looking in, it was definitely something that was very appealing for me for this job.
It's Steven Sandor with Canadian Press. Maybe just talk a little bit, first question for you, Mark, is talk a little bit about the energy when you first maybe met Ed in the office and, you know, talked about doing this. And then for Ed, just about the whole process. How many people did you interview? Was this, you know, how thorough was the search?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't matter the field. If you put like-minded people into a room and they start spitballing about something that they have passion for, the energy jumps up right away. And I think that was evident in the first 5 minutes of the conversation with these guys. And I think, again, when things start aligning, we're all of some of our experiences, but when things start aligning and because if we're not aligned, it's very difficult. This job is very difficult. It's a difficult job anyways. But when we can align up our beliefs and we see things the same way and we think, you know, a winning culture and a winning program looks, acts, and sounds like something on a day-to-day basis, and we see that the same way, I think that's a really exciting opportunity.
Mark, was that?
You want? Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
As far as energy is concerned, my energy is pretty leveled until I start talking about this organization in this city. Then I get ramped up because how much I care about what we do here. And you know, we were talking about the standard and what our standards are going to be, and that was exciting, right, for myself to be able to explain it. And not everyone buys into it. Not everyone really sees it that way. Some people are just looking for the opportunity to just be a head coach and et cetera. But Mark's excitement about coaching the players and all the stuff that came with it, it was so different than everyone else. As far as the process of, you know, interviewing how many, I'm not gonna get into how many because this is Mark's day, but what I can say is that the few that were down to the final process, you know, met many of the things that we would want. But again, the overwhelming choice for this organization for right now and for what we want to do moving forward. And I'm looking at who would I want to work with moving forward with the way the landscape of the CFL is, with player movement and one-year contracts and all these different things. There's this gentleman to my right here, the players want to play for. And that makes all of our jobs easier, personnel and scouting, everything, when you have a coach that people want to play for. So that's pretty much the extent of the process.
Mark, Ryan Rashog with TSN. Not sure how much you'll be able to say on this front, but obviously part of the job you have is assembling a staff. How far down the path are you of having a sense for what the staff ends up looking like and what your plans are timeline-wise?
You know, when you start going through the process, you start talking to your connections. And you know, I'm really excited about the potential staff that we're going to put in place here. Every single one of those men is going to be an incredible teacher, is going to be an incredible leader, is going to be able to bring the best out of their players. I'm really excited about some of the initial conversations. There isn't a timeline on it, but we're working hard on it.
Just following up, taking this job and being in this position for the first time, how do you think you will handle being the heavy when you have to be that guy as the head coach? That comes with the role. And I know as a teams coordinator, there would be times as well. How would you describe yourself along those lines, though? Some of those tough decisions you got to make and how you'll approach those.
Sure, I'm sure. And Ryan, you've seen me on the sidelines, so I can turn it on when I need to. But I think that's a strength of mine. I mean, I want this to be a place that people want to be involved in. They want to be loose. You want people to feel good when they're in the facility, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. And that's who I've always been, and I can find that balance between the two things, and I think that's a strength of mine. In leadership, you have to make hard decisions. That's part of it. It's part of the job description. You know that it comes with it. A big thing about the way that I interact with people is I'm respectful. I will always tell them the truth. I'm honest, but at the same time, I feel that's people can respect that, and that's the way I'm going to handle that business.
Hey, Mark, Kevin Carey, Sports 1440. Maybe it's ironic or foreshadowing. You're sitting in the chair. The guy directly behind you is Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Describe your time at U of A and how he helped shape and mold you in the early stages over a quarter century ago.
Yeah, I mean, so Wilkie recruited me. I had planned to go to the University of Calgary because I was living in Lethbridge, and I had gone to all their summer camps. And then when I was playing on the Team Alberta All-Star team, that's when I started to get recruited by Wilkie. And I actually ended up tearing my ACL in that summer tournament. And I remember one of the first things was Wilkie came over right away and was still like, hey, we still want you to come, everything, we want you to be a part of this. And that really meant a lot to me. And, my experiences with Wilkie, some of my favorite memories, walking into his office with like 36 chew cups on the table. But he always cared. He cared about us as individuals. He cared about us as a team. And, nothing but fond memories with Wilkie. That's it? Oh, he's taking it easy on me. All right. Thanks.
All right, with that, we will conclude the formal part of this. We'll do our photo op here in just a couple of moments. We thank you for joining us here again. We've done this 3 weeks in a row, so we'll see if we do it again soon. Thanks, everybody.